Okay, it's been brought to my attention that people are stuck with the idea of polarity between good and evil. And they think that everything has to do with good and evil. And this is such a stupid idea. It's a TV trope. If you look up TV tropes on Google, you will see that it is just a list of different things that have been used in movies and televisions. And do you understand the word trite? Trite just means it's stale and overused and we're sick of it. And if it's been written up in a TV trope, it means it's been used to death. So much so that the critics have got this database where they can go TV tropes, and that is what you have done. You have repeated in card playing. It's like once you've played a card once, you're not supposed to play it again. You're supposed to get a new card. And if you keep playing the same card over and over again, the one that comes to mind is the race card. It's boring. It makes for boring movie making because it's just like my old acting lesson about saying no all the time. No, no, no. I gave you that movie lesson, and for an actor to say no, no, no all the time, it's a fault. And to play the same card over and over again as a scriptwriter means that you're hackney-eyed and trite, and you're boring and stale, and you need to take up a new line of work because as a scriptwriter, you're the shits. So, back to good and evil. Good and evil was an old idea that came way back from God knows where. But a modern interpretation is that it is not like heads and tails. It is not good and evil. Evil itself only calibrates below 200 on the Hawkins scale of consciousness, and it's a very, very insignificantly small amount of the scale of consciousness. The vast majority, even under the human realm, is from 200 to 1,000. So 80% of it is above the level of evil or even unhappiness. So, to say that you're playing with a polarity of good and evil all the time, no, you're wrong. It is absolutely wrong. Why don't you start your scale at 200, which is courage, and go up to 1,000, which is Buddha? So, stop playing like, this old amateur game of good and evil. It is incorrect. And I'm sorry, if you keep playing this card on me, I'm going to call you out time and time again. You're trite and hackney-eyed, and you need to take up fishing. Because at least with fishing, you get to fillet your fish, and I guess that gives you a little bit of violence that you're looking for in your life. Okay, so anyway, any other points that we want to bring up? Well, this is basically it. I mean, if you can't come up with a decent script, you got to fire your script writer and go get a child, get somebody out of grade 2 to tell you a fresh story, because they're going to do a better job than a bunch of old people who can't come up with anything new because they got memories replaying in their subconscious mind. Now, this is the teaching of Ho'oponopono, Dr. Hugh Len. He said if you got memories replaying in your subconscious mind, your reality replays over and over, Groundhog Day. And the way to get rid of it is to say, I forgive it, let it go, I love you, etc. It doesn't work. The problem is that you are too old and you have not got anything fresh to say. Now, if that is the case, what do? You've got to go recycle yourself. In other words, I don't know. I really don't know. The same old ideas of go travel or something. Take up painting, maybe. That's a good idea. If you've never painted before, take up painting. Take up... Get yourself out of your head is another one. I mean, get out of your head and go into your feet instead of your heart this time. Go walk around with wet feet in winter time, and make sure you get lots of salt on your feet, and make them really red and ruddy, and so they start to peel off because you've got a layer of dead skin that you can't get out of, and your dead skin has got to get peeled. So maybe you need to go for an acid peel at Merle Norman and get a new face while you're at it. But, you know, I've already done the Merle Norman face peel, and I've walked around with cold feet. So it's not me, it's the script writers who write the script. And there you have it, your update on what needs to be done in the making industry. Oh, one last thing, Magical Beasts and Grindelwald's Crimes. I saw it last night. It's a textbook disaster. Not a disaster movie, a disaster of a movie. Truly, they mumbled their way through so many lines I couldn't figure out what they were saying. The 3D made people, it looked like Waking Life when their heads were all kind of moo. They didn't look like, it was just weird, a weird 3D effect that nobody wants. Throw that one away. I think Dumbledore and Grindelwald, they did one of those things where you slice your hand with a knife and they put it together to become blood brothers. And I think by doing that, I mean, everyone knows that Dumbledore is gay, so Grindelwald must be his gay lover, and they created a baby by magical means. So the baby was created not by having sex, but by magical means, or either that or else they wanted like a G rating, and they didn't show them having sex. And that's how they had a baby. And then it was just so convoluted, and I don't know. And then the worst thing is you paid for a 2-hour movie and you expect to have a conclusion. No, they don't give you a conclusion. They don't even give you a decent cliffhanger. It's just a muddle. It is the worst mud puddle of a muddle movie I've seen yet. And they seem to be making more and more of these. The last decent movie to be seen by me was Sausage Party, which made us laugh. It was really, really good. And this is the exact opposite. It is so horrible. I wouldn't, well, maybe if you want to watch it just to see, you know, a textbook example of a bad movie making, bad script, bad idea, bad acting, and, you know, it's just walking away bewildered. Why did I waste my money on this movie? You know, like trying to live up to the J.K. Rowling name. They must have got a ghostwriter to write it, because it is a total senseless bastardization of anything Harry Potter. Truly, they just seem to be seeking new lows when it comes to movie making. They're putting out too much stuff. They need to put out fewer movies. Well, I was there at the movie theater last night, and, you know, there might have been 6 people on the back row watching this movie. The rest of the theater was empty. And I'm telling you, every time I go to movies, the movie theaters are empty. So clearly they're going to have to close Silver Cities because they're not making any money. No one goes to the movies anymore. They're watching Netflix, or, you know, I don't know, maybe they're just going to bed. But, I mean, it's not attracting people. The prices are too high. My God, popcorn and pop, what they charging, it's just like going to Wacky Wings where they want $35 for a pitcher of beer. Prices have got to come down, and, you know, somebody said, well, we want 3 cents a liter gas. No, and we don't want you to pay us to take your gas away. It's just like if you need gas, you go and you get it free. And they don't pay you to take it away, and you don't pay to take it away. It is just free. That is the way it's supposed to work, in an easy exchange of need and supplying needs. Now that I have befuddled you, as usual, no one ever asked me a question, so I've got to guess what you need to know.